Disclaimer. Alrighty, hello everyone. For this video, we have got some news that is very important if you are a Beyblade fan, which is the magnificent date of 3/21, which is officially crowned as Beyblade Day. Now, before we continue with this video, mallofbays.com. Hey, speaking of bays from previous or current generations, not only do we have Beyblade X products on our store, but we also have Beyblade Burst products. If you go and check it out, hey, get some of those Burst products off my hands. I would appreciate it. It is an option way to support the channel, helps keep the channel alive. I appreciate any support regardless. So if you recall from last year, 3/21, what was the announcement? Beyblade X, that new generation. So now with this announcement, we've already got some details to go by. First of all, when this will be taking place, they've officially crowned this, which they did trademark this a while back, but this will be on the YouTube channel, and they're having this as the BeyTube. But this will be basically a, I guess, cool YouTube events that they're going to basically be doing. There's no info on time or anything. I assume obviously a lot closer, we will get more information to go by. So hopefully it's at a time when I can actually maybe stream it or live react to it. If not, pre-recorded zankye it is. But we basically already have some information to go by. We're going to be getting representation of Beyblades from 3 generations in this announcement. One of which is already revealed, which this one was already kind of obvious. Drigger S is going to be obviously remade. It was the same time as they were doing Tripio. I did think maybe we could have seen a Dragoon S, but I guess they're just holding off, I guess, for a bit. But, I mean, my thoughts on at least on the Drigger S that they've revealed so far, it looks very close to that of Dronzer S, kind of flipped, I guess. And obviously they're not literal the same shape or literal the same metal. It just more or less feels like a very similar design. I'm not too keen on how they did the Plastic Gen remakes, mostly because of the fact that it's mostly the weight disc that is the contact points and not really like the literal shape itself. Which I understand for their approach, that's how they're doing it, but I don't know. I really wish maybe it was more focused on the attack ring, or at the bare minimum, because you can still have it where, you know, whatever, there's like the slopes of the thing and the weight disc is still there. You know, Dronzer S's big issue is that they made it way too light. Well, it's still viable, it's not really competitive. So I'm hoping when they do Drigger S, at bare minimum, we at least get, you know, please, like, a decent weight for it. That'd be pretty nice. I think also based on the prototype, I believe the part should be something like a 480 point or something like that. If it changes for the final release, it changes. Now, for my Metal Saga fans, this is our time. Storm Pegasus. Storm Pegasus. It was in the poll. It was with the top contenders. We're getting Storm Pegasus. Very excited to actually see Storm Pegasus. It's funny because the Metal Fight 1 in the original, it was so dog shit because the wheel was not really that good. So we can finally have Storm good for something. I mean, the only thing the original Storm was good for was what? Maybe like the rubber flat performance tip. Aside from that, very curious to see how it'll do in Beyblade X. I'm pretty excited for the Metal Fight stuff because that's my generation that I grew up with. So yeah, that's pretty hype and really cool. The shape's not really that much modified from the original, so not really much to go by. You will see concept arts drawn by the talented Royal Kaiju Blader of a depiction of what it could possibly look like. I am wondering on the parts for what they could do. I did think potentially we could maybe get Rush if they don't want to do a new bit that represents the rubber flat for it. Which I would be fine with. I wouldn't really care too much about small details like that. It would be very nice if they could release a rubber flat adaptation for Pegasus, because keep in mind, they could still give it that new bit and just maybe some regular X-Bay gets it later on. But probably what they'll do, and what I'm expecting, is they'll probably just reveal it, and maybe some of the other parts you only see a lot later. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm okay if they even do a unique bit, because, what was it? in Beyblade Burst GT, when Storm Pegasus Remake was announced, they did do Quick Dash, right? They did do actually new parts, but that was the only one-time exception. Another rubber flats already happened, so yeah, let me know in the comment section, what are your predictions for Storm Pegasus? Let's assume Storm Pegasus will have similar ballparks to our regular X release. How do you think it'll do? What parts do you think they're most likely to give? Get your predictions in now, because we have about less than a month to figure this out. Now we get to the Beyblade Burst side. Seems the first one they're going to be heading off to is Victory Valkyrie, so essentially we get two protagonists adapted here. Now, Victory Valkyrie is a similar philosophy for how they kind of did the Bakuten Shoot remakes. So the disc is a lot more enlarged, so the boost disc is kind of covering those weird kind of squared off sections of Victory. It's a little bit interesting, that kind of take on it. I'm wondering how they're going to handle a lot more of the future Plastic Gen stuff and the Beyblade Burst stuff, because Metal 5 is pretty easy to adapt, but Burst and Plastic Gen I'm very intrigued by. I'm also wondering how they're going to do that middle section, because all the Burst Bay is designed in the middle portion, and if you cut it off, it's going to look really weird, so I'm very curious to see how they get around that and how they're going to make it look. Maybe they'll find an easy way, maybe they'll shrink certain stuff so it looks still natural. Very curious on that. If they don't make a new bit for Valkyrie, what they could probably do is just give it gear flats. That's like your closest thing to maybe a simulation of what variable is. And you just release like a black gear flat, and you can give it like a 360. You could the stuff is three-sided. You can give it like a 360. Doesn't really matter. Give it whatever. The ratchet doesn't really matter for the burst stuff, because it's really just the top part that really matters, because it's already fused with the disc for the reference whenever they're kind of designing the stuff. Because I know maybe sometimes when they pick certain, like in the burst generation, when they pick certain parts, it's to reference something. And here it's fine. The Valkyrie, if it's not killed like how they did Plastic Gen Remake, let's say it's normal, I don't know. It could potentially be nice. I mean, in a metal, it really depends how modified it is, how's the side profile, because in all honesty, it should just be like a mini drawn sword. Yeah, a mini drawn sword is probably what I would say. Aside from that, what are your predictions for the Victory Bay? Let me know in the comment section. So, the reason why I said it in the previous section, why Driggeress was so obvious, is because we already got all the listing. No, technically we're not supposed to have this information, but we do. Driggeress is, since this is for 321, we can tell Driggeress is just going to be for that April slots for the BXG release that they have. Was it the BXG 04 as some single solo release? Now, I'm only wondering for Victory and Storm how they get that out. Now, maybe that could be for that random select that is in September. That's a BXG one. And keep in mind, BXGs, anytime it's like a crossover bay or any like rare, special, cool type of prop, I'll probably put a screenshot of that time I wrote it on the Discord, whatever, explaining it. It's either that or they could do it as random booster release fodder. You know, like they just like dump it in there as like a second. I'd be fine with it. I really want to see them try to get as most representations, because obviously when you have like, in total there's like 30 bays, right, that all made it, but I think it's unrealistic to assume they're going to do all 30. I would hope they try to get rid of these in either 3-packs, random boosters, or whatever, because I mean, I would love to just see mostly Plastic Gen or Metal Fight, but I guess to be fair, it's to see all gens represented equally. So let's see where they go. But let me know in your comment section, what are your predictions for the release parts? How do you think they'll be releasing them? And yep, that's pretty much it for this video. This was a fun video for discussion. It's crazy to think how long it's, you know, that, God, it's like 2015, time really goes by, because I'm just reflecting on how old Beyblade Burst is. God, man, that's crazy. Even more for Metal Fight, dear God. Yeah, it really makes you feel old, huh? So, anyways, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic day, and that'll be it for now. Take care and bye!